Map 3 with Anne and Anthox. Let's go.
Map 3, baby. It is indeed time. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you so much, Demo and X. We're going into Map 3. It will be Clubhouse. Benelux House. We love it.
Yeah, we used to call it Benelux House, Andy, because it was played so often within the Benelux League. Ooh, that social vote has shifted a lot.
They turned.
No, they haven't turned, because the last time people were voting for Hellraiser as well, but it was 75-25. This is a lot closer.
It's because we didn't vote. If we voted, it would have been an actual turn. It is Clubhouse indeed, where we're going to. And you have two boxes. It's deal or no deal, as Demo said. Are you sticking with your box?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Acend. Yes. Yeah. Are you sticking with your pick?
I'm sticking with my pick, especially since Acend starts on defense. And I was going to say, why are the stats not in my favor? And I was going to say Clubhouse is a defensive-sided map, but in Challenger League it's not. It's actually an offender-sided map. 54% of the times the offenders are able to win the rounds on Clubhouse. Can you guess which site is the most won?
CCTV or Church? CCTV.
It is actually Barstock.
What? Oh, probably because it's not played that often.
We've only seen it 4 times.
Yeah,
okay, let's.
But that's not fair if you take that into consideration.
That's true. Then you said CCTV, so you are right.
Yeah.
So, well, it's a tie. I lied. I lied to you, Anne. A Wamai ban, a Thatcher ban, and a Hibana ban. No Twitch ban. But yeah, back to the statistics. I lied. 50% of the times it's bar, and 50% of the time it's cash. So it's an equal win rate.
Okay.
All right. Back to the bans.
Yes.
Hibana, Thatcher, Wamai, and Valkyrie. Anything surprising?
Very surprising. The fact that the Wamai is banned, and this might open up great opportunities for Hellraisers because they were struggling with that. The Wamai and the Vel keep on coming out. I mean, both teams really were struggling with the amount of utility that they have to clear just for the sake that the Wamai is up on the board. This is going to make the Raptor Assault, for example, a lot more difficult to execute well as defenders being because you don't have these magnets to rely on. You solely have to rely on a Jaeger. And look at what Acend is doing. They brought the Jaeger initially, but they're 6 picking it out to the mirror.
And they're also bringing a Capitao. Which now is a valuable pick because there's no Wamai in play.
So such a change in pace that we see coming out.
And the mirror's open. What's happening?
I like it. The fact that we do see the mirror indeed, and no Wamai being in play, this will allow them to hold onto this church wall a little bit long. But I also like the fact that we see this Capitao being brought out. However, do you think that they brought this Capitao expecting it to be downstairs?
No. I don't think so. However, it could be. It could be. I mean, if you drop from the kitchen hash, a Capitao can be strong as hell. You could, you could smoke off, for example, the hallway. You could even fire off the hallway. It can be a very strong pick here, Ad. I'm hoping it is, because Capitao doesn't get the love he deserves. Our Brazilian operator. After we've seen at the major, the Brazilian operators deserve the love.
For sure. One thing that I think is very interesting is if you look at the defender lineup, the Kite's in play. We've seen Hellraisers play Kite before, but Acend are going to the downstairs objective and kind of leaving these hatches open for grabs because the Kite is not in play. That means that the hatches should be open up a lot easier, and that could be in the favor of Hellraisers. Exodus found an entry into Garage. Looking to engage into a gunfight with someone in Oil Pit, but they seem to have fallen back towards site, so no real gunfight happening there just yet. And Hellraisers are taking this slow, but in the good way. They're droning out the top floor entirely to make sure there are no roamers that they have to deal with later into the round. And all these players of Acend have seemed to retreat it back towards the site. This is where the Capitao comes in handy as well. They're mavericking a soft hatch. The hatch in stock was not reinforced. There are no reinforcements left in the hands of Acend either, so that's a sacrifice that they're willing to take for that. The hatch in stock now open, but there's also a mirror window facing towards blue. That should make it more difficult for Exodus to push down these stairs.
Yeah, a minute and 45 seconds remaining, and it seems like on the side of Hellraisers, they're definitely going for a split push. It's enemy here being kind of pushed away from that mirror window. That's one of the nades that was thrown towards him, but hasn't really done any damage on that mirror except from give or take 35 HP. That does a little bit, like almost another 35 HP. So now it's down to, let's say, 45. That doesn't add up, Anne. My math doesn't add up. Then it would only have 40 HP.
Yeah, and they've used 2 nades, and what have they done? Well, they forced the mirror about 30 centimeters back towards the site. And that's not really all too much, but that mirror window isn't really being played that actively anymore. Rush now finds himself on the kitchen hatch here. Mission picking up the opening kill onto enemy, so that mirror window now should be clear. Mission trying to go for that one. There's a lot of damage onto Ravon, but not enough to finish him off. Ravon goes for the impact, and loses that gunfight then to Mission, probably because he doesn't even have a gun holding up. So now the players around these boxes are forced back. Shade finds a Gemini replicator, shoots it down, but that hatch is open now. High's picking up the kill onto Flayers. Diffuser dropped around Church. Shade with a good kill here. It's 3-3 back in man count.
Mission, why are you just sprinting there? That's the question. The C4 comes out, but that C4 doesn't land. It's Mellow who gets the kill on Rush. Shade with the kill on Exodus, and it all falls down here for Hellraisers. They had the cards in their hands. They had good cards being dealt to them because they had the opening frag, but all of a sudden it's smashing a clutch situation. 1 versus 3, has a slither of HP remaining. A little bit air would already kill him. So, yeah, and this round does go to Acend, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. 7 seconds on the clock, goes for a drop, tries to pick up the diffuser, but peeks the hallway instead, not noticing that Mellow was there as well. A strong performance, you could say, from Acend, but I think it also lacked a little bit coming from Hellraisers. Their initial push, I love to see them strongly forcing someone down that blue stairs. Proper drone work coming out. So they didn't reveal their positions by stepping into that goo mine, had control of that mirror window quite quickly. All those nades being tossed in forced that mirror to step away from a mirror, and then she couldn't play it actively anymore. They had that kind of control there, however it was Shade to turn it back there. The fuser being dropped on the other side, so could you say again, Hellraisers lacking a little bit of commitment, seeing as the main take was coming from blue, but somehow the diffuser was dropped around Church?
What do you think, Anne?
Maybe a little bit of commitment lack, yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate if you have your diffuser drop on a very different side as to where the main push is coming from.
And a Maverick who probably just got the intel from Diana, like, hey, there's a Shade, there's a smoke at one of the last boxes, and then just rushing like that. It doesn't make it any easier, does it? It is, however, the CCTV cash hold that we're about to see here from Acend. Question is, are they able to close this round as well? That would give them a 2-0 lead. There's a Thunderbird being played. And we've seen on this map how that Thunderbird can be strong, but it can also be in the advantage of the attackers. Interestingly here is that they're reinforcing off entire construction and leaving 2 of the garage walls open. Well, soft. Not open, but soft. They also haven't reinforced top of red. So they have 1 more pocketed. Does that mean, yeah, does that mean that they're going to reinforce red, or do they say, you know what, we don't need that reinforced? I hope they're not going to reinforce it, because Hellraisers is already opening up the wall over here.
Well, they might do it later on if they feel pressure from construction and there's a player trying to play around top red. The reinforcements looking interesting so far. What we see coming out from Acend. Last round, they didn't even reinforce the stock hatch either. And now we're doing this Maverick trick the other way around. Electro Claw coming out now, making the work of this Maverick a tad more difficult. And now the wall has just eliminated, it's gone from like the wall, no longer exists. It already opened up because of the bug using that earlier. But Exodus finds himself on the construction door. Could put a lot of pressure onto the side, but Ravon is aware of this. Yeah, probably had a sound cue that there is indeed somebody in construction. There's also a bulletproof cam, of course, aimed at the hard breach wall, which have recently been opened. I'm liking that Hellraisers actually has some flank drones here. Could be very strong. They can't just walk into construction though, because, well, they could. There's still a door, but construction walls are soft. Mellow and a Mission. Mexican standoff. Who has more patience, do you think, Anne? Well, I think Mellow should have more patience, seeing as the time is always in the favor of the defenders. So all he has to do is wait or just bait a Mission into actually doing something. However, he's choosing this wisely, just sitting still, waiting for a Mission to do something. He's aware of that positioning. No ADSs whatsoever to protect his position there, so that could be detrimental as soon as a Mission starts pulling out a nade. Mellow just sitting still, however, And it's a mission to spot the feet of Melu, hits the shots and gets the kill. Opening kill onto Melu, and Ravon finds himself onto low HP as well. More players gathering into construction, and this is where their main push might be coming from. Ravon spots the head, gets two, you would say, but missed the shots there. Goes for the pistol peek onto the breach, getting it down onto Smash, but not enough to finish him off.
Goodness, Smash survives to fight another day. Oh no, I thought that was a triple kill there. Sorry, I lost it for a second. It is a mission with the kill. Ravon does pick up his downed teammate, so it's effectively a 2 versus 2. But Rush will also pick up his downed teammate. 32 seconds remaining, and it's now currently again at 3 versus 2. If he had the triple spray there, it would have been completely different. Oh no, it is Rush removing the head of Ravon, and it's all up to Ice. Does he have the trigger discipline, the same trigger discipline as Ravon just had? Or will he just go for the kills? He gets one. Can he get the second? No, he cannot. It's a mission with the return fry again. Game on, and game on.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of a flashback to a previous round where Hellraisers failed to get a man advantage, clear man advantage against one player of Acend, because it looked like they were pushing this one by one. Player jumping into the CC window gets taken off, and then you saw the Maverick jump in, not really exactly knowing perhaps where that last player was, but still managing to get that kill there. This was very interesting coming out from Hellraiser, seeing as most of the utility and the reinforcements were mainly invested into holding on to construction, and still they decided to take construction with at least 3 players. Had that Thunderbird there not whiffed as much, then this round could have been completely different. But it's a what if.
Yeah, or not if he didn't have a silencer. Then he would have done more damage, and it might have not been a down, but a kill instead. Oh no. I thought for a second there we were going to see an amazing flank and an amazing triple kill, but unfortunately.
Yes, but have you ever played with a suppressed spear?
No, I have not. Well, it sounds good. I have.
Yes, it is, in my opinion, one of the most satisfying sounds with Siege.
It is indeed. It's like...
It sounds so funny, but it sounds really good. I mean, not always giving you the tactical advantage, but, well, for Ravon, it certainly didn't give him the tactical advantage here. Curious to see if he's got that suppressor on his gun once again. But they're choosing to go for CCTV once more. They don't want to go to the tertiary bomb site.
Are they reinforcing construction off? Because... Or are they still... Yeah, they still have those reinforcements. Okay, they're doing the similar hold.
Yes, but you know what? Like, they leave those 2 garage walls open, right? You have that buck on the board, which could easily grant a entry into garage. But you also have a player sitting on those rafters, and last time we saw that player even having a Kona station there. So you don't have the comfort of having that Wamai with those magnets that can protect you from a lot of grenades or a lot of flashbangs. You do have 1, maybe 2 ADSs, but you also have that Kona station that could keep you alive a lot longer, and that's why they might not want to focus onto taking garage initially, because that will be really difficult to clear out that player from the rafters.
It would be indeed quite the challenge. We see here that a mission is a magic with a torch. He's a magician with a torch. Do you think that they go into custom matches and actually like practice with a torch?
I mean, you have to practice it anyways. Ooh, Exodus there, barely missing the head of Melu. Gets to retreat quite safe, though. Now feel somewhat pressure from that construction window as well. However, their initial hold there now getting back towards the side, and that allows for Hellraisers to drone out Master Bedroom and construction completely. Looking like they're going to have another take coming from that side, and the mission picks up the opening kill onto Shade. That's your smoke off the board, and the operator that you don't want to be having as your entry death.
That's a huge pick off, and wow, that was amazing. That was an amazing feud that we saw on Ice dying there. He just ran into the grenade. Unfortunate timing there for Ice, and you know that Wamai pick, like the ban of the Wamai, huge, and but it's Melo.
Melo could be huge if he times this out correctly, but it's a drone in bathroom. Spotting his position, they know that he's going to come up these main stairs, and there's already a player looking towards that main stairs. Melo needs to win this gunfight, otherwise they're looking at a failed flank here. It's Smash is holding the angle, gets the gunfight. Now enemy finds himself in a 1v5. Heals up by the Kona station, but finds a Maverick walking in, gets a shot, but a player onto Island gets that final shot on the player on top red, and a really well executed attack.
It is very, very... It can go either way, Anne. An interesting matchup so far. They're going back to Church and Arsenal. They probably know this on the side of Hellraisers. They're bringing the Flores, bringing the Buck for the soft destruct, of course, bringing the Ace and the Maverick. So enough hard breach. On the side of Acend, though, I don't see a Mira. They'll probably 6-pick into a Mira. It is the Cade being 6-picked indeed into the Mira, but you were surprised, right? You'd rather see the Cade still being brought.
Well, one thing that is interesting to begin with, Acend didn't even reinforce the stock hatch, but with that kite, you can keep open those hatches or keep those hatches closed for a way longer period of time. And if I'm going to be very honest with you, I don't think that mirror window or the player behind the mirror was being all too successful holding players back from pushing into blue all that easily, because basically what it took them is 2 nades to push the mirror back a little bit. Then they had some opening into blue and could push that, force the mirror window, the mirror out of there. However, those holes being opened up around the blue walls also worked against them when Shade went for a swing there. So I'm not so sure if the mirror is going to be working for Acend effectively, but I think that last round, if we can pinpoint out one thing that led to the round win for Hellraisers, it must have been that flank drone in bottom. They were aware of this Jaeger crouch walking back at the main stairs attempting a flank. Would that Jaeger have been able to put that flank up there, getting 1, maybe 2 kills, that round would have gone a completely different way. Such small things, but very important things that really determine the difference of the outcome in these rounds here.
They don't have any reinforcements anymore, but the the stock hatch is still soft. So if they have used all their reinforcements. Interesting that they leave the stock hatch soft. That means that they probably have almost entire blue closed off again. They usually keep one of the blue walls soft indeed. They've done that again. Here, the south wall. Is that for potentially, for example, if you do think that they're pushing from Church, that you can still make bullet holes? Excuse me, not bullet holes, but shooting holes?
Yeah, well, you had a player around Church last time who was able to drop the diffuser in the hands of Hellraisers, a player of Acend then. And if you have that wall soft, you can still go for wallbangs if there is initial information. Let's say the mirror spots someone onto that mirror window, they can pinpoint the information and let a player in Church go for that wallbang.
And they have 4 impacts, so you can always make a rotate, right? If you say, you know what, actually I want to have that wall open, you still can with those 4 impacts. You can always rotate as well. It is a mission trying to get the bar hatch open here. It's not an easy task. However, he makes it look easy. Are you a bit of a magician with the torch, Anne?
Haha, no. I always tell people, don't let me play Maverick or I'll make a Swiss cheese out of your wall. So, no. Are you?
Not at all, not at all. No. It is the dirt tunnel being opened over here, and something that Pengu noted is that the dirt tunnel does get opened quite frequently, but there's just no pressure coming from that dirt tunnel. Like usually people don't really walk into that dirt tunnel, so I'm happy to see Mission is actually putting that pressure, walking into the dirt tunnel and seeing if you can get a pick somewhere.
Yeah, this is where those impact might be coming into play as well, but Irfan is not in the position to perform an impact trick on the kitchen hatch. So that'll be opened up by Flares, really making good use of all those Selmas as he's opened up dirt as well as the kitchen hatch. Mission now finds himself in the dirt tunnel, still has two nades to play around with, but feels pressure in that extent that he needs to exit the dirt tunnel already. Player downstairs on the main stairs, Rush here sees that mirror window. I mean, you have the Twitch shock drones, a perfect opportunity and utility to get rid of those mirror windows, but that isn't happening just yet.
I think you're about to go for an execute because the smoke grenade has been thrown out. Rush is on site, and the question is, do they know that? That's 1 pick for Rush. Can he get a second? He's still alive, though. He's still on site. It is a Rush that's still alive. He gets a double kill. It's a 1 versus 4. Ivan has to clutch this for his teammates, and he cannot do that. Rush with a big triple kill. And yeah, and that was a good drop.
That was a really good read coming out from Hellraisers.
He threw that smoke grenade himself. Then dropped and was able to pick 3 kills off of that. Big round there from Rush.
Yes, and I'm going to be very honest with you. We've seen smoke grenades work against attackers before plenty of times within this game so far, but that was a really good read coming out from Hellraisers. I was a bit concerned when we saw the Maverick retreat from the dirt tunnel, feeling as if he was that much pressure from Armory that he had to pull back from there. However, they read that Armory was clear enough to go for that drop, basically smoking off the rotate, not allowing players to be able to peek that. The Mira had no idea whatsoever. They were not even watching when Rush dropped, and Rush picked up 1 kill, then 2 kills later on into that round, but that basically allowed Hellraisers to just walk onto the site.
And I think maybe because you had that mission in dirt, you couldn't really play anybody at A cases, we call them. That's, you know, in the back towards Armory, next to the dirt tunnel door, actually. And because of that, indeed, Rush was just able to drop and get a huge triple kill. And that round, single-handedly won by Rush right there.
Yeah, and to be fair, Mission trying to show some presence into dirt tunnel kind of forced Shade off his position as well, because Shade was playing around the AK case earlier. He was elevated onto that small box, being on somewhat of an off angle, but the pressure from a Mission forced him to get away with there, and that kind of opened up the side for Hellraisers there. This is looking really solid for them. The 3-1 up on attack. Any round that they take now is going to be looking really good for them once they get onto their defensive half. Tactical timeout coming in from Acend, and I think that's at the right time as well, because if you lose more rounds now, you're looking at a really, really difficult attack later on. And we've seen those attacks from Acend. They're struggling with those.
Yeah, Acend has been performing quite well on defense before. First they go up 4-2, then they went up 5-1, and now they're all of a sudden they're 3-1 down on defense. On, a map that's slightly, but then ever so slightly favored in the offenders. Only by 4% though. And this is not portraying 4% when you're 3 to down 1. They are going for a gym bedroom hold this time though.
Yeah, I mean, when they won Church, they had to go for CCTV. Lost CCTV twice and lost Church. And now they're going for their 3rd bomb site, indicating that they don't necessarily feel too comfortable with either CCTV or Church. And this might be that turning point that they definitely need. Had that minute of time to talk about what they want to do differently for this round, but I'm surprised to see no mirror windows being in play. I mean, if there's any side on Club where you'd love to play that mirror window, it's right here and on the construction wall. This time, however, that's not happening, and Exodus finds himself in garage real quickly, yellow ping onto a possible position from enemy. Decides to put in that chase, but enemy's already long gone.
He is indeed long gone, but he is about to be hurt probably by Exodus. Doesn't trust it himself, enemy. He also gets a sound cue for that nade, the pin being pulled out of that grenade. It is still enemy on the roam, and so far he's not being pressured or anything, so he has free gain, it looks like. However, you see Flares holding that flank drone here for Exodus. So now he probably called it, but Smash does take some damage from enemy. Interesting here. Smash does get out of there alive, and that means that enemy can rotate back to site. It's not really getting any pressure so far, because Hellraisers is way too busy with trying to take cash here. And
yeah, but the fact that enemy's shown some of his presence makes it they need to worry about their backs, and Mello is able to pick up the first kill here through that drone hole. Rush being eliminated, and all these players still have to worry about their backs, because look at that, enemy is still able to roam free around the basement. Mello has a rotator on top, red breach being open, gives an opportunity to hide behind Island, goes for a swing but loses the gunfight against the Mission. Mission definitely being on fire so far this game, going 9-2 and taking just a little bit of damage from that engagement. 4-4 operator count, and all the players of Hellraisers are stacked around CC, and they need to take this control real quickly. Only around a minute left to play with, and they haven't shown any kind of appearance yet into construction.
what I like about Ice is that he was playing construction door towards Cash, trying to help his teammate, trying to hold off, for example, the rotate. However, once his teammate fell, Mello fell, he decided to go all the way back to site. Who's not on site, though, is enemy. He still has a pocket at C4, could still cause for a little bit of trouble. Has to watch out, though, because there is a Smash about to go into bar, trying to go into bar. Does he know that there's still a mute downstairs? I do not think so, because you wouldn't just be going like that, right? Would you be doing this, Anne, if you knew that there was still a mute downstairs?
I don't think
Risky business.
I don't think they know where the mute is in general, because he was running around the basement quite a minute earlier. Smash just looking at the hash, trying to get those vertical lines aside, and that should get the sound call for enemy. So here's to pick up the kill onto Ice, but enemy could go huge here, gets the kill onto the buck, and now we're back to a 3-3 man count. 10 seconds left on the board. Flayers needs to push in, gets killed however by Shade, and now this player walks on the side being fully smoked. Mission finds himself into Jim. Exodus with a swing onto the smoke, gets the kill, but time is up, and Acend win this round. It was very much needed for them.
It definitely was needed for them, and it turned out that that mute that was roaming earlier did cause a little bit of trouble for them late in the game, didn't it? It was that same mute that was able to clear the buck there, and because of that, it is now Acend who take a round. 3-2, still in the advantage for Hellraisers, so no cause for panic just yet. But the tactical timeout, it worked.
Yeah, and I'm liking to see the switch of defenders coming out from Acend as well. They no longer opt for the mirror. I mean, all the sites are open to play with. They can still go to CCTV, they can still go to church. They only one bedroom so far, so that leaves all these other sites up for plays. However, we don't see the mirror. That's good.
I like the line. You know why? Because the reveal showed that you have a Vigil, that you have a Mozzie, that you have, you have a Mute, you have a Legion. So what does it kind of tell you, Anne? It kind of tells you, as you can see, look at how many of them are rotating upstairs. It tells you they're going for a offside
basement room.
Yeah, well, they're going
very old.
They're going for an offside hold, right? They're going for, a roam. That's what they're going to do.
Yes.
So if you have a line, you can stop them.
Yes, but the big difference between bringing the line and the Dokkaebi is that Vigil, on his ability, doesn't get affected by a lion scan.
True.
So the Dokkaebi does affect him, and they're able to effectively track down his position when they're playing Dokkaebi. And if they're playing Lion, they won't be able to track him down effectively, because if he's on his ability, he can still run around and he won't get tracked down by Lion. That's the big difference between these two operators, and I'm loving to see them switch to the Dokkaebi for that reason.
Why do you have to be right, Anne? I was hoping, to have you be the beauty and me to be the brains, but now it's just you being the beauty and the brains. So, okay, I'll find another job. It is still Acend who are trailing 3-2. Hellraisers now on attack and indeed bringing that Dokkaebi, Anne. If one of the roamers gets killed off-site, that also means that they might be able to hack the camps.
That's very true. However, first they need to take that control over the top floor, and there's a lot of things working against them. Looking at the Mute Jammers that they have, looking at those Mozzie pests, that will stop them from being able to drone effectively. They have that Dokkaebi to get some information onto where the defenders are, but getting this top floor control and the middle floor control is going to take them a lot of time. However, in the meantime, we see Exodus just forcing himself into the bar, probably not being aware of the positioning of Eyes. Smash with the opening kill onto Mello. That's the Vigil off the board. One of the roamers, a very important roamer on the side of Acend, gone, and now Ravon gets called, his position revealed, and a lot of pressure onto his shoulders.
That means that if Ravon goes back to side, they can indeed hack the camps. And it is Ravon going back to side, and that means that there shouldn't be any roamers anymore. There still is Ice. Ice is still hiding.
Yes, hasn't been spotted out so far, so still gets to hang around this bathroom area here. Exodus also retreating from bar. Doesn't necessarily feel safe there. Went to drone out Legion, but his drone gets shot down. Rush now droning out the bar, and it's Vile. He needs to drone out that Mozzie there, otherwise this might be detrimental for Hellraisers. Smash still finds himself on the top floor, and this roam is costing a lot of time for Hellraisers to clear that efficiently.
He is gonna get...
No. Oh no.
Did he stop droning?
Yes, and they're not aware of his
positioning. He switched to drones, and now Smash is about to get killed, right? Surely Smash is about to get killed. Yes, he does. That's a missed drone right there, and they now know where Ice is. But, Ice says, you know what? I'm going to play for my life. 55 seconds remaining. I'm just going to play for my life, and rightly so here, Anne. What else do you got to do if you're Ice right now? You just play for your life, hope that you can get another pick. He's still safe.
Oh, he's being called and wallbanged.
35 seconds.
Safe position gets killed, however, but this has taken Hellraiser so much time that they still need to go for a site execute. Players onto site, all players on site really. Ravon being the only one with a shallow roam on the blue stairs. 25. Rush now pushing down the main stairs. 25 seconds. This is where the smoke cannons are going to come in play, as Shade still has all three of them.
Only 18 seconds remaining, and they have to force themselves through the moto drop and through the main stairs. It is now all four of them on the west side, and that means that Ravon is pretty safe. Flares will try to get a kill here, but it's Russia gets shotgunned. It's a double kill here for Shade, and it's all up to mission all of the sudden. Wow. They just didn't have enough time. Who won them this round, Anne?
The Mozzie did. I'm not necessarily just a Mozzie, but that Mozzie pest on the floor in strip club won them that round.
Exactly.
That allowed for the Mozzie to not be drawn out. Mozzie got the kill on the Buck, who's trying to make those verticals. Without those verticals, you can't get breaches. Without those breaches, you can't get the main breach downstairs in church. You can't get the wall open. And you saw all those players stacked up in the hallway, looking left, right, center. They had nowhere to go. They were relying on singular doorways and hallways to force themselves through. If you have a player like Shade with a shotgun on those close range engagements where you're walking through a hallway, you're gonna win that gunfight every single day of the week.
Yeah.
That wasting of time worked so well in the way of Ascend, and I'm sad to see them go to the attacking half right now, because I wanted to see more of that well-performing Ascend that we had in those last 2 rounds.
For sure. You know, I'm just curious. Was Kool-Aid wall, was it reinforced? Because maybe it would have been better to, you know.
Do you mean the rush wall?
Yes.
Okay, well, I call it rush wall usually. You call it Kool-Aid wall.
In America, they call it a Kool-Aid wall.
Can I ask why?
There's a brand, and it's called Kool-Aid, and it's like some sort of like powder that you mix with water, and then you have an energy drink. But the commercials are always like a bowl with that drink that rushes through walls.
Oh, that's why, Kool-Aid.
He's called the Kool-Aid Man.
Ah, yes. That's why they call Oryx the Kool-Aid Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. So I'm just curious if Kool-Aid wall. It's for the people that don't know it. It's the wall next to the armory,
the armory
stairs.
If you walk down main stairs, the first wall on your left
Exactly.
side.
Exactly. If that was soft, then maybe they could have opened that instead and just ran into armory. Anyways, shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's Mira with the run out here. Is it? No, it's not. Ice does take a little bit of damage, but that Mira gets away. Ooh, I'm liking the Monty pick. Especially for taking Garage. Monty pick can be huge, but there's nobody in Garage. There is nobody in Garage.
Why is there no
There's
one
utility
playing on
in Garage, but there's
Rafters?
nobody on Rafters. There's an ADS. There's a Kona station on Rafters, but nobody's playing Rafters. Interesting.
There's a mirror window on the main breach that now gets opened up, but this will lead to more difficulties for Ascend to properly breach that wall. They still have the Mute Jammer. The Mute Jammer now gone, but this could also mean formation to just open up that wall with the Impact Trick. Impact Trick being successful on that mirror window, and now Shade doesn't use his exothermic charge up until the full potential. Mission still has one of those impacts, throws it at the wall, and that does not stop the second
But you have to
exothermic
vault
charge.
now.
Yes.
That's the problem. I mean, unless the Maverick still does something, you have to vault. However, enemy has droned out Rafters, knows that it's clear, now probably also gets a little bit of healing. He does indeed. He's at 120 HP right now. Can he walk onto site? That's the question. Will clear all the utility though. He says, you know what, I don't need healing. Let me just clear all that. Smash and Ice about to meet each other. Oh no, the timing. Oh no, Ice. Why would you go on your drone there facing the wall as well? That's the real question. Garage in control of Ascend, so they should still be able to do a little bit of damage here, but they have to watch out because there's quite some players still playing in that lounge area, isn't it? And
yeah, exactly. You pointed out the players playing into the lounge area. Look at who those players are. Rush and Exodus, and look at what they have in their pockets. 2 C4s. That could be huge if they end up getting a C4 downstairs when the diffuser is going down. Shade has that diffuser in his hands, looking to push onto the side, but those smoke canisters are stopping him from successfully pushing so far. Players only has one of those smoke canisters still in this drop. With this push into the side, it's going to be really difficult as they has to vault over that. There's probably still a player holding top red.
yeah, and they do have a cam below to see if there will be a C4 tossed. However, if that cam gets cleared, then you're cleared. You're being cleared as well. They're about to vault in. They have to, right? Surely you're going to vault in. It's the Monty just pushing up. He says, you know what? Let's just keep on pushing up. Rush does get a refrag on Mello, who had just picked up one of the kills. C4 is being tossed on default. Nobody's on default here, buddy. Ravon gets the kill on Flares, and that means that they also have cash control. All defenders are off-site. They've been forced downstairs, and now Ravon needs to be able to get that plant down. He stopped planting, and now that the Monty dies as well, it's a triple kill from Smash, and it's all up to Ravon here, but he can't clutch it up because it's a mission that says, you know what, let me just get that kill.
And that is a huge round here for Hellraisers, as they much needed that to come back from those last 2 rounds that they've lost. Looking at that round, it was really good that we saw those 2 players downstairs with the C4s. But what I love to see from Acend as well is that they did not go for the plant on the default position. Immediately when the call for the plant came, or when they had the suspicion that a player was going for that plant, you saw that Mira just yeet her C4 onto the default spot, but no player to be found on the other side of that floor. So no damage done with that C4. However, the second time they attempted to go for a plant, there was no proper cover. It was only a Monty. Well, good luck trying to do something with that pistol, because that's not really going to do a lot of damage there. So unfortunately for Acend, that didn't really work out in their favor. However, like you said, that Garage and Raptors are both completely up for grabs for Acend players. And if you look at that CCTV wall, something I found very interesting as well is usually nowadays you don't really see a rotate from Raptors anymore, because you play Raptors to die, really, initially or in the end. But this time they had a rotate, basically allowing that Mon to just walk on the side.
Was it a bait that they do it on purpose, or did they just mess up in their setup?
I don't think they did, because the Monty was literally allowed to stand in CC door for so long.
They didn't know that there was a Monty coming, so maybe they just wanted to give a false sense of security, like, okay, you can walk into Garage, and then they wanted to like start peeking from Lounge, but that would be a very high risk and potentially low reward, because I don't really see that being rewarding at all. I think they just messed it up, right? They messed up the defense, but still won.
Yeah, but that's the thing about those Raptors holds, because it's always high risk but high reward, because you're so vulnerable to the grenades and flashes and everything coming in if you don't have the right utility there. And that's why usually these days people have those head holes, because ideally you don't want to peek the breach only if you have to. With those rotates, the Monty was just able to walk onto the side. This round, however, enemy thinks he can do better with that Monty. Can have a bigger impact on this round, bringing it down once again. And now they're looking to set themselves up for a downstairs take. Their main focuses seem to be around the dirt tunnel, hopefully kitchen after, as well, as that is usually the combination that they go for. Shay feels very pressured from those windows on top main, but I don't think any of the Hellraisers players are there.
Yeah, and Flares has been droned here by enemy. Is Shade really going to try and win this gunfight up close against a, I believe it's a smoke indeed. Has a C4, excuse me, has a shotgun in his pocket, of course, which he can always use on such close range. He has, however, fallen back to side and used one of his smoke canisters with only a minute of the clock.
Yeah, Melo finds himself on the blue stairs waiting for a call or a drone from his teammate to get that information on where these defenders are. Submission is playing close to that third box with a mirror window on a soft wall. That means he is very vulnerable and needs that assistance from Smash coming onto the church wall. Melo there goes for a nade, doing only a little bit of damage onto a mission. Smash now finds himself very vulnerable into the middle of the blue. Goes for the swing onto Melo. Does a lot of damage, but not enough. Loses the gunfight as Melo peeks it from the other side. Smash falling as the opening death onto Hellraisers, and now there's a lot more pressure onto these players all the way from the boxes.
Yeah, and Melo dies there, and Diffuser is still in secret, so they do have to pick that up one of these days. It is now a Shade that's fighting a smoke that's up close and personal. An enemy is already completely on the side here, and he's feeding information to his teammates. And, yeah, well, enemy, you can stay there, but the mission gets the kill on Ravon. No way. The mission now gets the down on the same Vigil. We'll finish him off as well. It's a 3 versus 2 situation. It's 3 players remaining on the side of Hellraisers, and, well, make that 1 player remaining on the side of Hellraisers, because that Monty does get headshotted.
How is Flares able to pick up that kill and another one? The Monty should have so much protection with the shield right in front of him, but probably peeked it in the wrong way. Beautiful shot coming out from Flares, as he's able to pick up the last one there as well. And time again, we see that Monty just forcing himself onto the side, but they keep on losing players on the side of him. Players that just get picked off because they sprint towards mirror windows. And the less players you have surrounding that Monty, the less you can do with that Monty, the less power and the less efficiency you can do with Monty, because the more players you have around them, the more you can do with it. It's just so unfortunate if you have a Monty in a 1v4 position, for example, where you can only rely on that pistol, because it will not win a gunfight against any assault rifle or SMG or whatsoever.
We are really getting in the depths of this, and because it is a 5 versus 3 situation in the advantage of Hellraisers here, and it's make or break season. It really is make or break season. You lose this, you're out. And you're not just out, you're out for probably a year. Who knows when the next Challenger League is. So you got to do it here. If you're, I mean, it's a shame that we have to say goodbye to either of these two teams. I'm just hoping Acend brings it back and we're going into overtime. That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking for me. Wishful thinking indeed, because it is still Acend trailing by 2 rounds, and they have to continue on an attack, and we know that's not their strong suit, is it?
No, and I mean, they called that tactical timeout when they found themselves down 1-3 round-wise. That really helped them to end that defensive half in a 3-3 split. But now Hellraisers are looking really solid on the fence, and the unfortunate thing is for Acend, there are no more tactical timeouts left. You can't have that minute where you just gather everyone together and talk about what you need to change, because now they need to do that within these rounds, and they need to make those fast adaptations. There's the exothermic charge on the CC wall here, as that's probably quite successful, but those mirror windows are probably stall out a lot of time. Onto the construction, no real presence from a player behind that, but you can't see through the mirror, and you'll have to clear that from downstairs or from the Logi hatch to potentially gain some control over construction.
So there's no more shield. No.
Oh no.
way.
How is Smoke playing
No
so
way.
aggressive?
And the mission also gets the kill. No way. It is both the Smoke and the Mute who use their pocket SMG. And look at that. Look at the kills in the mission. On the first map, he was already doing really well. I think he's hungry to go back into EUL.
Yeah, Mission showing off a very strong performance so far as Nirvana also falls. We find 2 players left on the side of Acend. Shay taking no damage from that C4 as he was attempting to shoot that down. Ice finds himself on the construction window, Shade being very far away from him, and they both need to start getting some picks here. Mission goes for a very aggressive swing under the wall, gets down however. Shade winning that gunfight here, and that might have been a little bit over-aggression coming out from Mission, but they need to get those picks here. Exodus walking up the rafter stairs, could potentially go for a huge pick if Shade is not aware of his positioning. Finds himself creeping close to that window, the shield there as well. Now it's Exodus going for the swing, getting the kill, diffuser down. Ice does not have the diffuser, 1 minute left to play, but needs to find 4 defenders to win this round.
Yeah, I was saying maybe use that time for another tactical timeout because, guys, you gotta survive 3 rounds now.
Yeah, but they're not allowing them to have this timeout. I mean, they know where the Yana is, and what you want to do in that situation is, yes, there was some over-aggression from a mission, but if you allow that Yana to sit outside the window for so long, then they can have that budget tactical timeout. Having that Mero jump out of there denies them some time to talk and some time together, everyone together to talk about what they want to do next round. Now, they find themselves at a 3-6 round disadvantage, map point, match point.
EU Challenger League point, because if you lose, you're out.
That is very much true. They cannot lose a singular round. They didn't get that advantage to have that brief moment to talk about what they need to change. I see a Monty pick coming out. 6 picking it to the Dokubi. Didn't have a lot of ground in the last round because it was the opening death.
Yeah, didn't have any impact at all. Even, I mean, was it the smoke? Hit the smoke for so low? I mean, wow. It is, excuse me, it was the Mute, I believe. Anyways, it is Acend, who are ascending. They've already ascended to the lower bracket final. No, that's descending, because if you ascend, you go up, and if you descend, you go down.
Yes.
Okay, Acend needs to step up. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't gonna make it any more complicated.
They need to live up to their name.
Exactly, they do need to live up to their name. So far, they're not. It's okay. Up until this moment, because if you don't step up now, you're out. It's match point, baby. Hellraisers up 6-3, and Acend has to attack him. And what does Acend not like?
Attacking.
Exactly.
One little change I dislike on the side of Hellraisers. They had that mirror window last time. It was open up, and you saw a Thunderbird throw impacts at it, so they could stop the exothermic charges. However, this time there are no impacts to be played around with, but an open mirror window makes it really difficult for Acend players to just safely peek this. Grenade coming out onto top, Red doing a little bit of damage onto both Emission and the Flayers. No C4 being tossed out just yet, but a lot of lines that they have to be so careful for. There's Electric Claw on that breach, so this is going to be a really difficult point to clear for Acend, and this is going to cost a lot of time for them.
My goodness, it is, however, the wall that gets opened, and again, you have to vault over, and it's, you know, realistically, it's maybe a step over, but hey, you know, step overs don't work here in Siege, so you have to vault over that. And if you vault, there's a flares waiting there for you, so it makes it a whole lot more challenging. There are 3 C4 still in play. They need launch control, simple as that. They really do need launch control on the side of Acend here.
Oh, they get the information on the player on secret stairs. It's actually just a swing and get the kill onto Ice. Opening kill on the side of Hellraisers. This could be huge for them as they no longer have Yana with potential nades on the board. Refron finds himself on top of those rafter stairs, really close to being able to enter the site. And the mission just seemed to have missed him. Looking at all these lines of sight that are being made open for him. Gets that shock drone down. So no longer information on the side of Acend. However, he has another one. King could gain that information, but the player on rafter stairs needs to be very careful for these lines aside. Melo taking a little bit of damage, but not enough to take him off the board.
Surely it's done, right? I mean, there's still C4s in play. There's only a minute remaining, and they're struggling here on the side of Acend. I'm liking this, though, with the Maverick. Kind of tricking your enemies here, but he gets smoked off now, and that's buying a lot of time here on the side of Hellraisers. And it's only 48 seconds remaining. It is a 4 versus 5 situation in the advantage of Hellraisers. And again, I can't emphasize it enough. Still 3 C4s in play.
No, the last smoke is being used.
No.
So Mission picking up a kill onto enemy. They're so worried about all these lines aside. Mission goes for another aggressive swing, but does not find any heads. Melus find himself an entry onto the side, has a diffuser, but Ravon goes down. A 2v5 situation. Melo goes for the swing, loses the gunfight. Mission with a triple kill so far. Can't find a fort. Finds a fort. It's Hellraisers to win this game and to still have a chance onto going on to European League.
It's done. No way! Hellraisers pulls it off against all of our expectations. Wow! The mental game that you need to have to go from a 1-7 to actually close this out, 7-3. Go from a 1-7 to a 7-3. Losing 1-7 on your own map pick.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, and I think you have to credit this one to Mission, especially in that last round. He was so close to dropping a 20 bomb, got 19 kills in the end, but just that quad kill in that last round being so important and really helped Hellraisers to step up and eventually win this game.
It was the battle of the giants, right? It was enemy, somebody that has a lot of experience, against the Mission, somebody that arguably also has a lot of experience. And unfortunately, only one of the giants was able to continue, and it is a Mission. It's the Russian team that proceeds here, and they get to keep on fighting. And for Acend, it's back to the drawing board, and that drawing board will take a long time, man. It will start itching.
Yes, and well, you saw them like last week or 2 weeks ago. They made that roster change with Shade stepping in instead of JS.
Phenomenal.
It's really unfortunate for them that they have to do this late. I mean, obviously, maybe teamwork and communication might not be at the very point where you want it to be if you have a player stepping up into your roster that late. Still, Shade had a really good performance. Exactly. We do have to point that out, but unfortunately for them, it just wasn't enough to keep their hopes up and their dreams up for a European League spot. No,
it was. I mean, Shade really stepped up, right? I mean, he really did. We saw it on the previous play day. He was the top performing player on his side. Today, he performed phenomenal as well, but unfortunately just fell a little bit short. And I mean, if we look at Chalet, we had, I believe it was Rush really stepping up for his team. If we now look at Clubhouse, it was a Mission stepping up for his team. So I think that, if they do watch this back, I think that the point that Demo and X made, that they don't really play well as a team, still stands for Hellraisers. Because it's those individual performances that pulled them across the finish line.
Yeah, exactly. There must be a lot of other different points why Hellraisers were able to come out victorious here. I think we should ask our analyst for that as well. Yeah,
I really don't want to ask him, because Ian is going to have a big head and say, oh yeah, I knew it. I was the only one that... I did the same last time. You know what? Let's just give it to them after a small break.